Hi, welcome to lesson number 2 for Solo Suite e-learning module. I'm Lori Garcia, Assistive Technology Specialist with Northeast Independent School District. In lesson number 1, we reviewed assistive technology, universal design for learning, accessible instructional materials, and Solo Suite. Remember, Solo Suite is comprised of 4 individual pieces: Read Out Loud, Draft Builder, Write Out Loud, and Co-Writer, which work seamlessly together to foster language arts skills. Watch while I navigate to Solo Suite in our district folders. Start menu, Programs, and Secondary Applications will take us to Solo 6 and the Co-Writer. Solo encompasses the Read Out Loud, Draft Builder, and Write Out Loud, while Co-Writer is separate because it can be opened up independently and used with any word processing program or internet form that you would type into. Before we can use Read Out Loud, we need to look at gathering some AIM, or Accessible Instructional Materials. To do that, I will quickly walk you through a tutorial of using Bookshare.org. If you are not already inputted as a sponsor, you need to contact me and so that I can add you on. Only district employees can be added onto the district Bookshare account. Students who are using the software can be added on both in our district account, and we can offer them a free individual membership account for at home. Finding text for a student is as simple as typing and searching for it. Here I'm looking for Where the Red Fern Grows, which is a book popularly read by our 6th grade students. All I typed into the search box was red fern, and it brings me several options. This is the title of the book that I want. This is the correct author, and it was copyrighted in 1961. Bookshare added it to their collection on May 6th of 2011. These are the types of files that Bookshare offers for download of Where the Red Fern Grows. We can download in DAISY with images. We can download a standard DAISY file without images. We can download an MP3 audio file, and we can download it in a Braille file. DAISY files are the e-text files that are the gold standard for e-text files at this time. This is probably what we want because we would like to open it in the Read Out Loud. So we can click on that one. Now let's find a student. And we will download this book for this student. And it's that simple. Here is my file. I'm going to click on this file, and it's given me a zip file to save wherever I need it. This is the inside of the zip file, and here is my file Where the Red Fern Grows. I'm going to cut and paste that file onto my desktop so that you can see how to unzip a DAISY file. To unzip a DAISY zip file. To unzip a DAISY zip file, we will right-click and extract all. Previously, we needed a password. We no longer need a password to unzip any of the DAISY files from Bookshare. So we can click Next throughout all of the fields, and it will now show us the extracted files. Each of these files is needed to help all of the files for the eText work properly. Now, I'm going to close this and take you back to my desktop so you can see we now have two files of where the red fern grows. One is zipped and one is unzipped. Okay, now let's go ahead and open the Solo 6. That'll be me today. Now, the Read Out Loud supports reading comprehension, fluency, vocabulary development, note-taking skills, and more. Draft Builder is an integrated graphic organizer with drag and drop functioning, and the Write Out Loud is a word processing program which provides auditory feedback of words typed and has the added benefit of tools such as Talking Spell Check, Talking Homonym Checker, Talking Bibliography Wizard, and a Talking Dictionary. One of the most supportive pieces of the software for a multitude of student needs is the Co-Writer. The Co-Writer provides word prediction with topic dictionaries and user preferences based on level of student academic and physical need, and I must confess, the Co-Writer is my favorite piece of the Solo Suite because it supports so many users, like poor spellers, English language learners, users with limited mobility, and it can be used in conjunction with any program you can type into. In this lesson, we will look at the specific supports available in the Read Out Loud portion of Solo Suite. But in a future lesson, we will look at the individual pieces of Draft Builder, Write Out Loud, and Co-Writer. Let's open one of our pieces of text in the Read Out Loud. These are assignment templates that a teacher can assign a student individual work just for them, and this is work that the user has already been working on. I'm going to open the Hunger Games. And I will delete the notes that I took previously. And I will delete my outline notes, my KWL chart. Notice how simple it is to delete notes. I've been clicking on the topic and on my delete key. I can also use this eraser right here. So I have Saturn open. I have an eText of the Hunger Games. I have a DAISY file of the Hunger Games as well. And I have a tab where I can read the web. Something you may notice is that many of the icons are familiar to you because they mirror those in other technology products. Let's go look under the File menu. The File menu you might recognize New, and Save, and Print. These are identical icons to those you would find in Microsoft products like Word or PowerPoint. Opening Student Central here will take us to the main dashboard for the entire Solo Suite, giving us the opportunity to open new assignments or current work. Right now we're in Solo Suite, but as you can see, with one click we can navigate to any other piece of Solo. This is very useful when students are reading to gain information and they need to transfer that information to Draft Builder and then to Write Out Loud so that they can create the written component of their research, maybe even using the Co-Writer. Let's open some AIM. Remember, AIM is Accessible Instructional Materials, and that encompasses those DAISY files, Braille files, EPUB files, and even the MP3 files. We will open the Insert menu to click on Add eText, but we can also use the visual toolbar icons to add eText. Remember, we just opened that file for where the red fern grows and placed it on the desktop. Then we unzipped it. There were two files on my desktop, one of Where the Red Fern Grows that was a zipped file, and one that was an unzipped file. Let's click on the unzipped file because we don't have a view of the zipped file. I could have changed my files of type to find, and it gives me every file that's there. Now, if we go back to all supported files, this limits the distractor for students. Either of these files will work. Let's just choose the top one. And we have opened Where the Red Fern Grows. Visually, students may require a different choice, or they may just prefer a different choice. Let's go through some of the visual opportunities that we have in changing what the text looks like. Let's increase the size of the text. Let's slide the bar. There are many different choices to choose from, and depending on student preference or need, they can decide which one is right for them. Let's look at the Edit menu. Again, you will find that many of the icons are familiar to you. We can select all of the text. We can copy the text. We can place it in another text field in any word processing software. As we are reading or writing any document in Solo, we will be able to quickly skip around the document and select chunks of text. Notice these same icons on this menu can be placed into this visual toolbar. We will change it from the simple to the advanced toolbar. And we can increase the size of the icons. This is not only helpful for our visually impaired users, but for all users who are new to the program, so they can more easily identify the icons that they need to create their work. Under the Speech menu, there are many settings and preferences which can be manipulated for user need. Let's concentrate on the most important icon through Solo, and that is this Speak button. This button really depends on the user preferences. Some users will not need to speak the toolbar and dialog boxes, and they will not need the speech turned on, and we will talk about that later. Let's talk about this box over here. This is a miniature version of Draft Builder, and as we take some digital notes, they're slipped over here where they can be easily embellished on and organized. Under the Outline menu, we find an eraser and a green highlighter. Most of the other tools under this Outline menu are grayed out until we need them, with the exception of Add Outline. Keep that in mind for later. It's one of my favorites. Now focus over here on the toolbar. Here we find that same eraser and green highlighter. Most of the other tools right here are also grayed out until we need them. Let's take some notes. Are you ready? Notice, after I've created a main idea with the green highlighter, then the program intuitively realizes that I'm ready to support that main idea with information, and it allows for a yellow highlighter. After I've created a support for the main idea with a yellow highlighter, the program will allow me to add details with this red highlighter. Please be kind, I'm just taking random notes. In this program, we go with the main idea in green. We slow down and look at the topics underneath the green main idea. And we stop to focus on the red details. So we have our main idea, our supporting information, and our red details. Green, yellow, and red, just like a traffic light. Simple. Now that we've taken notes independently, let's look at the built-in outlines for directing student learning and increasing their comprehension. Under this outline menu, when we click on Add Outline, we will find numerous resources. Now, in the Teacher Central dashboard, we can create our own outlines, but that is not necessary because these are all provided for us. For this activity, let's find an outline that will guide us in reading this e-text. And let's look at how many there are to choose from that are already built for us. Let's choose a simple one. This is a very simple KWL chart. A fundamental guided reading strategy tends to be a KWL chart. Prior to the reading, the students will list what they know, they will list what they want to know, and then they read the text and document what they have learned. Depending on student abilities, there are multiple ways to complete this outline. One way is to click the question in the outline and then highlight your answer from within the text. Since the question is a green highlighter, this answer can be in a yellow highlighter. Now let's move on to the second question. Students with higher skills can click on the question and then click New Note for a text box. This is no ordinary text box. It offers auditory supports in spelling and an integrated bibliography wizard for noting where the information was found. This bibliography wizard can help users create a works cited page in either MLA or APA format. What do I want to know about where the red fern grows? For the purposes of this demonstration, you are not hearing the text coming from the Read Out Loud program. But after each word and at the end of each sentence based on end punctuation, the program reads the text to me. Let's review some information we've covered. We've looked at tools we can access under the File and Edit menus. we've looked at the Insert and Outline menus. Now let's move back and inspect the View menu. In the View menu, we can show or hide locked text. In the Teacher Central dashboard, when creating text, such as for an exam, you can choose to lock that text so that a student cannot edit it. Currently, the locked text icon is depressed, but if we change it, we can only see text that we can overwrite. Under the View menu, we can also open and print the graphic organizer in this miniature draft builder portion. We can open that in the Map view. In the View menu, we can also toggle to the Web tab. We can adjust the slide bar with just one click, and we can change our view to whatever the next tab is on the menu. Let's do that. So we just changed with one click from where the red fern grows to the Hunger Games. The design of this software incorporates multiple methods of maneuvering because some users will have physical impairments which require them to navigate through the software with an alternative input device. So something that is very simple for me to do, such as click the tabs. Another user may require a different method for accessing the same task. Another example of how to do this is found in the notes. We can organize the notes by easily dragging and dropping information to rearrange my outline. Someone using a USB mouse emulator, for example, would not be able to complete this task, which is so simple for me. The software design offers options for users. Both on the outline menu and on the toolbar, we have one-touch buttons to make this same task possible. Take a look. Now, under the text menu, we are able to change the font style. We can also change the size of the font. We cannot change the e-text within Read Out Loud because that is locked text which we did not create. It is important to think of this accessibility feature for our students, though, when we're creating user preferences. We can change the visual field, remember, with this drop-down box here for e-text style. This is a new update for version 6. And in previous versions, you would change the visuals in a different way. Did you notice that we can increase the font right here under the toolbar menu? Now let's look once again at that speech menu. One of the preferences we have here is the ability to turn off the speech. Not all users will require the auditory feedback, but all users can appreciate the numerous tools built into the program. So for those who find it a distraction more than an assistance, it can be toggled off. By default, the program speaks the toolbar and dialog boxes when the cursor hovers over them. However, as users become more familiar with the software, they may not need this support, and it can be turned off as well. Now to one of the more important user preferences, and that is the voice settings. Within the entire Solo Suite, we can adjust the voices along with their pitch, rate, and volume. It is important to work with the user on finding what is best for their needs. If they're reading a more difficult text, let's say they're learning an introduction to stoichiometry in their 8th grade science class, the text would need to be at a slower rate than if they're reading something for personal enjoyment like The Hunger Games or Where the Red Fern Grows. As in each piece of Solo Suite, we can also adjust the pronunciation of a specific word. We do this using phonetic spellings to account for dialectical differences and regional words. This software was created in Chicago, Illinois. Actually in Schaumburg, Illinois, very close to Chicago. And I doubt up in Schaumburg, Illinois, they need to know how to pronounce the word chupacabra. But one of our students could possibly write a story about the mythical chupacabra. As we slide into the Tools menu, let's take a moment to talk about the importance of understanding. Our students can benefit from the dictionary to find meaning in words they don't know. Using any dictionary is a skill which must be taught, but using this talking dictionary simply requires the user to understand that this is what good students do. They don't need to know how to look up words in a dictionary or be able to physically manipulate that big book. They just need the encouragement to use it. Keep that in mind. This software alone will never teach a student. That is why we honor your knowledge and good teaching strategies, because nothing will replace your good teaching. But this Read Out Loud software is one of the many tools to support you in directing students toward those TEKS-based activities that you're already building into your classroom lessons. This is a powerful tool for students with a wide array of need, so please encourage your students to use it, both at home and at school. Remember, in Northeast School District, we have purchased take-home rights for every middle school student residing in our boundaries. So now we've completed our overview of the Solo Suite Read Out Loud portion. You will now complete the lesson, discussion, and quiz for Lesson 2. Thank you so much for your time. Again, this is Lori Garcia, Assistive Technology Specialist with Northeast ISD, and remember, you can contact me at any time to support you with specific needs for your classroom. So email me at lgarci31@neisd.net. Thank you.